Hi everyone. We are here to do a simple Crackle coaster set. I'm doing red and green for the holidays, so we'll see how it turns out. I'm using J. Diction tabletop resin. It's a little thicker viscosity than regular resin, so I'm hoping that it works and we don't have any issues because it is thicker. All right, well, let's get mixing. My first one is an Octopus Fluids Resin Ink Evergreen. And I get these in the United States from Laura's Art Corner. Otherwise, they're very difficult to find. And I'm going to do 15 drops. And I know 15 sounds like a lot, but these aren't highly pigmented ink. And I did 16 ounces of resin, 4 ounces in each one of these cups. I love tabletop resin for coasters simply because I think it's more durable, but it often can be challenging to use because of the viscosity and the bubbles. I also like resins with like UV protection, heat resistance, that sort of thing for them. All right, let's see how we're doing. I don't know. That looks pretty green, doesn't it? Let me give it another stir and we'll take a look again. Yeah, that looks pretty good. That might be good. All right, next we are doing Eye Candy Shiro White. And we want to put a good bit of this in because we want it to be heavy. We are working with a thicker viscosity resin, so it's going to mean that it's a little bit more challenging to mix in. I am taking a good bit. You see that? It's a big chunk. And I'm going to do that twice. So I am using an awful lot of it. And it's because I want it to be heavier than my, colored resins, than my green and then my red. I want this to be heavier than those. This is my second time using this, and it does mix in really well. I was a little worried when I first saw it because it's really powdery, but it actually mixes in really well. Eye Candy generally has good products. And that's what that looks like. We'll give it a mix again before we go to use it. All right, actually I want to do I don't know why I switched cups, it doesn't matter. All right, next I'm using Liquitex acrylic ink, Crimson. And I'm gonna do 15 drops of this. And I'm doing 15 because even though this looks like a bright red here, it kind of has a strawberry tone to it. And I want it to be a little brighter. Hopefully I'm not making everything too heavy with the tabletop resin, but we'll see. We will give it a go. All right, let's see how that's looking. That looks pretty good too. This is kind of opaque. It's not completely transparent. Go. And last but not least, we're going to use Pearl X Brilliant Gold. And I am just going to use a big scoop of it. I'm not going to do two. I find that the gold kind of takes over, and I'm hoping by using a little less than the white that it won't take over as much. We'll see. We will see. But it is Christmassy, so we do like the bright gold and red and green. for the holidays. Just making sure it's mixed in completely. We don't want any lumps ruining our project. That looks pretty good. All right, so for this technique, or what we're doing here, the best thing to do first is to put your transparent ink in. And that is our green. And I'm going to just try to pour it in the center. Sometimes I'm a little off center. I just dribbled a little spot, but hopefully it'll catch up. And I am going to use this whole cup. Now, it may take over and fill the whole bottom of the mold, which I wouldn't hate. If there's enough to fill up the whole mold, I would be happy, because then it makes pouring the white a little easier. You don't have to worry about it as much because you know the green will be on all sides of the white. Because it tends to just move and go where it wants in these little molds. And then you sort of get off center, which I don't like. Just trying to use every single drop so we can fill these a little more. You can tell how thick it is. It's already a honey type texture. And I'm actually just going to try to move it around to the bottom, cover the bottom of the mold. Just give it a little bit of a nudge all over the place. See, this one I didn't get quite as much in it, so it may not work with me as well. Just give it a little shove anyway. See how it works out. Which one of these does it look like there's too much in? Really, it doesn't. I don't even see where I can borrow some. Let's just try this though. Probably not even going to move much, probably going to do more damage than just letting it be. We will just let it be. Let's see if I got anything else in this cup. All right, so now we're all out of green. It's time to move to our white. I'm going to give it a stir again just to make sure it's mixed in really well. And I'm going to pour these in half cups. I'm not going to pour the complete cup. And then I'm going to also alternate the red. Might have poured a little bit much, but that's okay. Got a little bit left. All right, let's do our red. Might need a little bit more in this one. move a little bit, I'll go over here. Gonna make a mess because that's how I roll. All right, now let's do the gold. Again, mixing it because it is the mica powder and I want to make sure it's mixed all the way in. And this is where I'm going to do another little spot of the red. It is super thick. I should have got another cloth. All right, now the last of our white. Let me see, this looks a little uneven. Put that there. Let's see. I'm going to end up putting a little more in every single one of them. And now, the white. My molds are starting to get a little full, so I'm starting to get worried that I'm going to have enough room for the rest. So I think I might do gold now and then end with the red. I'm not sure how much I'm going to be able to put in. Some I have a little bit more room to play with. Let's see, how close to the top am I? Getting really close. I think that's all I'm gonna do with the gold. I'm just gonna finish filling them up with the red. Now they look pretty full. All right, so that looks pretty good. Now, let me get that. Moved a little too far away to get my heat. Give them a shot of heat, because that's the other thing with using a thicker viscosity resin, you are going to get more bubbles. That's just the way it is. All right, so that's it. And we'll come back when these are ready to demold. And I'm hoping we're able to keep some of the red and green so that it really shows through. All right, we are back to see how they turned out. I think that the resin was too heavy because the transparent color is still around the edges a little bit. But let's take a look and see what they look like. They might still be cool. Oh, wow. Those look so cool. It actually does look super cool. Oh, wow. Look at them. It's not exactly what I expected, but we still got some crackle or some snakeskin sort of effect going on. They look super cool.